Hi everyone.
Hi.
As you can see, we are back on our boat in Titusville, Florida, prepping for this season's big adventure. And now if you haven't seen us before, if you haven't watched one of our videos, my name's Ed.
And I'm Lynn.
And we travel up and down the eastern coast of the United States, Florida, Bahamas, well, and eventually the Caribbean, in our 1979 58 Hatteras motor yacht. Now, a lot of people have been reaching out and asking us what our plans are for this season, so we thought we'd do a little video and tell you about that, and also answer some of the other popular questions we get asked. So stay tuned.
One look in your eyes and I find it. When you leave in my mind I rewind it. When you got it this good, you don't fight it.
Okay, well, let's get right down to it. Our plan is to leave Titusville, head down to Fort Pierce or maybe Palm, West Palm, shoot across over to West End, and then we're going to do the Abacos. That was our plan last year, to hit the Abacos, but we had a tropical storm, and well, we hit an island.
We ended up running away from, and a lot of other things.
Yeah, a whole bunch of different things changed our plans last year. But this year we're going to go around the Abacos, circle around to Nassau. And then from there, we're going to go over to Spanish Wells, Eleuthera, head down that, I guess you call it the eastern side of the Exumas there, down to Georgetown, maybe even Long Island, and then head up the regular Exumas that we do, the Rudder Key and the Staniel and Shroud, do all that, head over to Nassau again. Then we're going to go to Chub Key, Bimini, back to America. But it's not going to stop there. We're going to leave Fort Lauderdale, right? We'll probably hang out in Fort Lauderdale a little bit. Then we're going to head down to the Keys, and well, we always get lost in Key West for a while. We're going to come back down the Marathon, though, and then head up the Gulf shores of Florida.
That's places new for us this year.
We've never done that. We like to, I don't know, check out where. We've never done the Gulf side before, so we want to check out places like Clearwater and Tampa, maybe go as far north as Tarpon.
That'd be cool.
Then our plan is to come on back, cross over the Okeechobee, and head back up the coast to Titusville. And we think the whole trip's going to be, I want to know, somewhere around 3 months, 4, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And if you've watched our previous trips, we often have guests aboard. In fact, it's usually more people on board than just the two of us. It's either family, friends, and we've been inviting YouTube followers to join us as well. If you're interested in maybe joining us for part of this trip, let us know. In fact, I'll talk about that more at the end of the video. But let's get to the questions.
Okay, so people have been asking, how's our lithium batteries working out?
Yeah, and well, they're working out great, actually. I couldn't be more pleased. If you watched our previous videos, I've installed 4 100 amp hour lithium batteries. I have them wired to 24 volts, and we have it hooked up to a Victron inverter. And we also have some solar panels up on the up on the fly bridge, and it works out great. Now it'll power our boat pretty much anytime we're underway. For anything except, as long as we're not doing something like air conditioning or even heating the hot waters a bit much. But other than that, it'll run everything that we need for probably about 10 hours. And we can extend that time too by diverting some power from our alternator on our port engine to the batteries as well. And that gives us a few more hours. And we're very pleased with it. We think we're probably going to add more batteries. I don't know if we're going to this year.
I would love to, but
because right now it's doing what we need it to do. And for us to make it so that it could do more, which would be run the air conditioner, we'd have to add a lot more batteries. So I'm not sure we're doing that this year. But anyway, it's working out great.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so a couple people were wondering how our cheapo Lowe's carpet's been holding up on the upper helm.
Yeah, about I guess it's been about 2 years now, I think. We installed, what do you call it, carpet glue down
squares.
Tile carpet, that's what it's called. We put tile carpet up on the fly bridge, and not really knowing how well it was going to hold up, but it's a real odd shape up there, and we just figured out, let's just give it a chance, and see what happens. And it's working perfectly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it looks just as new as it did 2 years ago.
Solid.
Doesn't peel up. Lynn squirts it all down with a hose, so it's working out really well. So, for a quick and easy installation of carpet, we got it at Lowe's. It's commercial grade, which we thought, well, yeah, maybe they're just saying that, but it really did hold up well.
The sun's been beaten on it. Salt water, all that stuff, and it looks just as good as the day we put it in.
Yeah, so check it out. We have a video somewhere of us installing it. Check that out. We recommend it, actually.
It looks nice. I think it looks really nice, too.
Sure.
another question we've been asked a lot is what software and equipment do we use for our videos?
With the videos, okay. Well, the quick rundown is we shoot most of our A-roll on, well, this camera here. This is we have a Lumix 85. Actually, we have a couple of them with a couple different lenses. We're out and about. We use Osmo Pocket. We're actually in our third one now. We lost one to water. We lost another one because we pushed the button so much. I think we broke them. And now we have the Osmo Pocket 2, which we're looking forward to using. We also are using a DJI action camera.
Yes, which we have to still replace.
Yeah, that's you see, we use that. We put when we're docking, we'll mount that outside the boat. So when you see our docking sequences, we do a lot of it on that camera. We do have an old, what's that thing? That old GoPro that's behind us.
GoPro. Yeah, we use that in the upper helm. We just put that on.
Yeah, the view from behind us when I'm on the kid. That's just an old one.
That's been working great.
Had it for like 6 years
or more.
What else do we use? We use well, we just got the microphones. Well, I'm not going to touch; it'll probably make noise. But we just got the DJI lavaliers, which so far we've only used on one or two videos, and we like them a lot. And that's kind of it for the equipment we use.
I mean, sometimes we'll use our cell phones. Which our cell phones are, what are they? I
don't know, the Galaxy Note 10s. And occasionally you'll see that. That's only if our camera went dead or we forgot it or something like that. As far as software, I use HitFilm Pro. It's something they have a free version that I kind of got used to, so then I just stepped it up and got the Pro version. I think it's a monthly subscription. I don't really even remember. We use Soundstripe. That's where I get my music from. I get a lot of stuff. Jesse Villa, we use a lot. That was another question.
That's another question. That's a lot.
We're going to get to that. Yeah, a lot of people ask who does our intro, and a woman named Jesse Villa. I'm not sure what part of the country she's from, but she.
I think Mass.
She might be.
Yeah.
But she.
Okay.
What was that?
I know what it was. It's another thing we got to fix on the boat. It's
the hatch up top.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jessie Villa does quite a bit of our music. We get it from Soundstripe. I guess she licenses her songs to them, and so we really enjoy her music, so we use it a lot.
Yeah.
What else do we use? We have software. I use Affinity for thumbnails. So, well, anyway, hopefully that answers your question. Maybe if I think of something else pops in my head, I'll bring it up. So what's the next question?
So the next question is, hold on one second. Okay.
What?
So, quite a few times people have asked, what is the most important thing to have on the boat? And,
I don't know.
Alcohol?
Vodka, bourbon. I don't know what's the most important thing. I suppose ultimately it's a life raft, I guess. There's a million things we can't do without. But
like your systems, your navigation systems.
plotters.
Radar.
I mean, you can go on and on. And that's not an easy question to answer.
But so then, with all that aside, I would have to say for us, it's alcohol.
Okay. You know what it is? I'll do another whole video about the electronic systems and things like that we use, because that's a little bit too much to answer in a question, and I'd rather show you.
Okay. Good. We'll do that. And another question that's asked a lot is, why do you fight that steering so much?
I don't know. That's the sawing question. It probably is the most asked question I get, is why am I always sawing at the wheel, or seem to be struggling steering the boat? And, well, let's see. There's actually two answers to that question. The first one's just an excuse, and that's when Lynn tends to film me at the wheel when we're going into inlets. 95% of the time we're on autopilot, but when we're going into an inlet and I'm steering, we travel at 10 knots. And when you're going into an inlet, quite often the waves coming to shore are going faster than the boat. So I often have a swell, we're up on the crest of a wave coming in, and then we're kind of surfing down it.
Wibbly wobbly down.
And I'm not really the best at maneuvering the boat on that, so that's an excuse, but that is actually what happens often. But the technical reason is that on our lower helm, if you ever to watch, we don't shoot very much video with me at the lower helm because I don't steer there that often. But if I were to take the wheel on the lower helm and spin it 360 degrees, it will move the rudder 10 degrees. Now, if I go up to the upper helm and spin it 360 degrees, it will only move the rudder 5 degrees. In other words, the steering at the lower helm is twice as responsive as the upper helm. I don't know why that is. I suppose it's some kind of hydraulic issue. I did try bleeding the upper helm, and maybe I didn't bleed it enough. I don't know. If you guys have an answer to that or a suggestion, I'll try it. But I guess I'm kind of used to it, so I never really worry about it too much. But it does mean that I'm turning the wheel a lot more than I would be on, say, when I was steering the Carver or other boats that I've driven. I see what you're saying. I know it. And stop asking me this question because I'm tired of answering. Next question.
Okay. Next question. Are the fuel costs killing you?
Yeah, well, then they're killing my children's inheritance probably, but yeah, it's not as bad as you would think. For one thing is, since we didn't take the boat back to Philadelphia and come back this way, that's 1,000 miles each direction. Mm-hmm. So 2,000 miles, and we get, 0.75 miles per gallon?
Yeah.
So, you're close to, 3,000 gallons of fuel at $5 a pop. Yeah, that saves a lot of money by not doing that. So we're not really worried about it. I mean, we're going to spend about as much on fuel this year, even with the higher cost, as we did 2 years ago, because we're not really going as far, even though we're going out further.
Actually.
We're going further into the Bahamas and the Abacos and swinging around, but we're not doing the back and forth to Philadelphia.
No.
So all in all, we'll probably spend less. Now, sure would be nice if the fuel prices came back down.
Especially diesel. If diesel has been higher than regular gasoline. And
it's always been quite the opposite. Usually on land you would find that diesel's higher than gas, but on the water we always found that diesel was less than the gas. But we'll see. We're not out there yet, so I'm not really sure what the prices are. Somebody can tip us off, especially what we're going to be paying in the Bahamas, because that's where we're going to be getting most of our fuel.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, we'll live with it. Okay, so anyway, I hope that answered some of your questions. Feel free to send us messages on Facebook or on the comment sections of videos. In fact, I pretty much, unless I miss something, I do answer everybody who sends us a message. I try to anyway.
Yes.
But anyway, back to our trip. If you do have an interest in joining us on some leg of the trip, reach out to us, let us know. Send us some information about yourself. Maybe perhaps a video would be nice. We don't care. We don't care about your politics. We have friends on both sides of the aisle. However, I would say that you should probably be socially liberal. Lynn and I have friends of all races and ethnicities and genders, and we like to party. We like to go out drinking. We've been known to jump off the boat naked from time to time. So if you find any of these things offensive, you probably won't want to hang out with us for very long. So if you do want to join us, the best way to contact is probably on our Facebook page or even our Patreon Facebook page. And send us some information about yourself.
A little foam clippy thing, and
foam clippy thing.
Yeah, like a video film clip.
Oh, yeah.
And then just their skill level. And then I'm not afraid of teaching, and neither are you.
Yeah. No, we just say you don't have to be a seasoned skipper of a boat to join us. You do have to be willing to do a little work. There's no princesses on this boat, right?
No princesses.
And, well, anyway, reach out, and hopefully we'll see one of you guys, or a couple of you guys, or maybe a bunch of you guys in this season's videos.
Yeah, Roger out.
Yep. Cheers.